Hello and welcome to Inside the Synod. We're at the beginning of week 3 of the Synod and the participants got a much needed day off. There were no sessions today, but that means we get a chance to catch up. Sebastian Gomes spoke to some of the Synod Fathers earlier this week about their work in the small groups and about some very specific evangelization initiatives that are just now catching on.
What goes on in the small group?
We were invited to respond to Cardinal Wuerl's summary that he gave the day before and to react to it, either by affirming or building on points he made, or also pointing out areas that we found could be strengthened or even needed to be added. And so we went through his report. We had the text in front of us and then added to it or criticized certain formulations. And in that way, we're just walking through any number of concerns that the Synod Fathers wanted to bring. And as a theological advisor in the group, I was invited to simply join in the discussion.
You're a Benedictine monk and you're also a specialist in liturgy. So when we talk about the new evangelization, what are you looking for to come out of this Synod?
Yeah, I think that the subject of new evangelization is ultimately the already baptized who need to recover the depth of the faith, and also those who have left the practice of the faith. So in the end, Catholic life expresses itself in the celebration of the Eucharist, especially Sunday Eucharist. This is an enormous treasure, underestimated, underused. So in the end, it would be to celebrate the Sunday Eucharist at greater depth and with greater understanding. That's a big concern of mine.
You've spoken about the new evangelization in relation to the courtyard of the Gentiles. Can you expound on that a little bit, explain that for us a little bit?
Il cortile dei Gentili di sua natura risponde forse a una componente che era caratteristica della Chiesa delle origini e che veniva espressa con un termine greco che ormai è diventato anche abbastanza comune nel mondo ecclesiale, che è la parola kerygma, cioè la parola annuncio, l'annuncio di base che viene fatto in un orizzonte che è lontano, che forse si interessa solo vagamente di Dio o che forse attende anche qualche voce ulteriore. L'immagine forse più incisiva è quella che noi abbiamo all'Areopago di Atene da parte di Paolo, quando Paolo, usando anche la cultura contemporanea, i poeti e gli scrittori greci, cerca di annunciare l'Evangelo. C'è una reazione evidentemente all'annuncio cristiano, ma c'è anche un'adesione che sarà espressa da figure significative. Questo è un po' il nostro percorso.
With participants from so many different countries speaking so many languages, it's a wonder that work gets done so smoothly at the Synod. The credit goes to one very small but very important office hidden behind the Synod Hall, the Translation Office. In the small building known as the Nerve Center of the Synod, they receive texts from Synod participants in advance and work to translate the text from its original language into the 4 others. The director of the translation services watches the Synod interventions via closed-circuit feed to catch any last-minute changes a Synod member might have made to their presentation. Once the content of the intervention is confirmed and the translation finished, the translated texts are handed off to revisers who proofread and check the accuracy of the translation. If the translation is approved, the head of the translation office signs off on the text and it can now be posted to the internet. It's the work from this office that ends up in the daily Synod bulletins released by the Holy See Press Office.
I think it's been a useful learning experience more than anything. The work is quite intense, it's often quite unpredictable. At the same time, it's also very varied in the sense that obviously we receive interventions from bishops from all over the world with very different concerns, so it's very stimulating in that respect. There's also a very good team spirit within the office. I think also I enjoy very much the fact that we have a prayer together in the morning. I think even when there's a very, very heavy workload, the fact of having a moment in which everybody stops working and everybody listens to Vic, and there's a sense of us all coming together and thinking about the same thing, even if it's just for 5 minutes. I think it's very useful. It reminds us that we're all fundamentally working together on the same project.
As we said, the translators are not necessarily religious. They are professionals. Sometimes we're working as only workers. We're just professionals and we don't care what we're translating. Because it's important to translate correctly. We're not involved in that. But the fact that little by little we have introduced all these translators, not only to the language of the church, but also the experience of the church.
Finally, it's time to find out the realities the church faces around the world. Today we bring you Bishop Sebastian Shah, the Apostolic Administrator for Lahore, Pakistan.
You know, I strongly believe after resurrection, Jesus gave message of peace to his disciples. That was the first thing. So we as a church in Pakistan, we have also common goal that once we are transformed, we feel resurrection and we proclaim the risen Lord. So our goal is also to bring peace and harmony in the society. Especially in Pakistan, where people are many linguistic group, many ethnic group, many religious pluralism, I mean all these things are there. So I think our role is, church already felt the need and we invite people from different faith, like other minorities also like Hindu, Sikh. Of course, I mean Muslim, they are nearly 97% like that. So we come together, we talk, and we talk how to form very harmonious type of society where people can profess their values and all together work for the prosperity of the country.
And that's it for this edition of Inside the Synod. Tomorrow the Synod Fathers go back to work, and on Wednesday we'll bring you another look inside the Synod Hall. For our team in Rome, I'm Alicia Ambrosio. Thanks for watching.